Hello, this is Charlie Eugene. Today I'm reviewing a Dell Inspiron 3000 series laptop. This is an AMD Ryzen processor, AMD model, and this is a very budget-friendly laptop. Let me put this box up here for a second just so I can read off some of the specs. I didn't write anything down. This is all freestyle review, okay? That's how I like it. All right, so anyway, this is a Dell Inspiron 3000 series, model 3505, black, which is really weird because this is kind of like a grayish, like a really dark gray. It doesn't really look black, but it is, I guess it is black. So anyway, yeah, so it comes with a 15.6 full HD touchscreen. I was surprised that they added the touch feature in this model. It is has a webcam built into the frames, 720 HD, so it's good for your video calls on the webcam. And it has a AMD Ryzen 5 3450U processor. Okay, this model came with 8 gigs of DDR4, 256 gig M2 chip, and it has integrated AMD Radeon Vega 8 graphics. So I'm just reading off of this because I didn't, like I said, I didn't write anything down, just talking about it. Oh yeah, it came with the Windows 10s Home, which is the first time I've ever seen it because I guess it's a version of Windows that you only can install apps from the Microsoft Store, which I'm not a fan of, so I switched it to just regular Windows Home, which you can do. You just can't switch it back. So be mindful of that. When you get this machine, it will come with the Windows 10s, and you can switch it to Windows Home, just a regular Windows Home. So that's what I did. So yeah, it has the wireless AC and Bluetooth, things like Bluetooth 5 on here, and it has a SD card reader, and it has your HDMI and USB 3.2. So that's cool. I didn't see that. So yeah, I didn't do an unboxing because there's plenty of people online that did unboxing. Nothing special about this. It's just a laptop adapter inside and 2 pieces of documentation. So I didn't feel I need to do an unboxing of the machine. So let me set this to the side here. All right, so here is the laptop. It does show fingerprints over time. It's not a big deal to me. It's definitely a hard kind of plastic, but it still feels like quality to me. It feels like you could drop it a couple times and some light drops on a carpet or something like that and it'll be okay. I wouldn't recommend dropping it at all, but it definitely feels like it can handle some wear and tear. All right, so we're going to look on the left side of the machine. Left side of the machine, you have your AC plug here. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me angle that a little bit. A little small AC hole here. You have your HDMI, full HDMI out. You have your Ethernet port, which is great because sometimes you want to plug in and get the fastest speeds through Ethernet. You have your 2 USB 3.2 ports right here, which is great. And you have your, I want to say this is a combo headphone mic jack. I'm not sure if it is, but your combo jack here. Okay, so that's on the this is on the left side. Now we'll go to the right side. The right side of the machine has your Kensington lock. So if you want to lock it to a desk, you got your Kensington lock there. You have your USB. I don't know if this is USB 3 or 2. I think it's USB 2. I'm not sure. And then you have your SD card reader, which is great. So there's no USB-C on here, and I was fine with that. I'm still not totally switched over to USB-C yet, so I'm still happy with this. This will definitely still work out for me. All right, so let's flip it over here. On the back here, you have your thermal grill here, so your hot air will escape from the bottom, and it will escape from these little vents here. So that's always a good thing. You'll definitely want your heat to escape. What else here? You have your speaker grill here. You have you have one on the right and one on the left here, and that's pretty much it for the bottom. Like I said, it does show fingerprints, but it's not too bad. I wouldn't complain too much about that. Yeah, so let's talk about it. We can open it up a little bit here. Oh yeah, you can't. No, you can't open with one hand. So you open it with one hand, the bottom comes up as well. So you have to hold the bottom part and lift up. Okay, so it's not one, that stuff is small stuff to complain about. I don't complain about stuff like that. I don't know about you guys, but I don't complain about stuff like that. So let's turn this over here so you guys can see it. I've already configured it, so I'm showing you guys. You got your trackpad here. Typical trackpad. It makes some noise. It's not too bad. I wouldn't complain about stuff like that, especially at this price point. I wouldn't complain. Makes a little noise, but it works fine. Typical trackpad. You have island style keys here. So each individual key is here and has a nice bounce back on the keys. It feels really good, like the keyboard. Don't have any complaints about the keyboard. But unfortunately, this keyboard isn't backlit. So that's one con of this machine. I have a couple other cons I'll talk about later on, but that's one con. There's no backlit keys. So at night, you're gonna be struggling a little bit to see your keys. But that's not a deal breaker for me at this price point. All right. So, oh yeah, it is touchscreen. So you know you do get the 10, and it is full HD. Get 1080 on here. You know, what else did I want to talk about? Like I said, if you look at it, you know, if you saw this machine just laying around somewhere, you would think, oh, this is a cheap laptop. You would say, oh, that laptop is cheap. You would. You know what I mean? But like I said, this is a budget beast. This machine is a beast, and I'm gonna tell you guys the reason why I bought this machine, because the ability to upgrade in 2021 is starting to dwindle away. Most of these machines nowadays are really thin, really light, and everything is soldered to the motherboard, right? So your RAM soldered, they're even soldering on the hard drives now, the SSDs, and you can't really do anything. Some of them you're allowed to open it back and change out your drive, which is cool, but that's still not enough. We all want to switch out that RAM. What makes this machine so spectacular is the fact that you can upgrade 3 things in here. So I opened this up yesterday after I bought it, and I swapped out well, I didn't swap out, but I added RAM. I added 8 gigs of DDR4 RAM to get up to 16, just so I know I could run some of the apps that I want to run on it. But it also has a 2.5 slot. So you can put in a traditional mechanical drive if you wanted to, which I would not recommend doing that. And you can put in a solid state 2.5. And it has the slot for your M.2, which is already occupied when you buy it with the 256. But if you wanted to like really geek out, you could take that 256 out, throw yourself in a terabyte M2, and you could throw in your 2 terabyte or your terabyte 2.5 solid state drive. And then I think, I'm not sure, please don't quote me on this, but I've seen on the internet that you can put 32 gigs in here. I'm not sure. I got 16 in here now, so I can vouch for that. So you guys are safe with that, but I'm not sure about the 32. But if you can get this thing to run 32 gigs of DDR4, get yourself a terabyte M2, and then get yourself another terabyte 2.5 in here, you got a beast, man. You got a beast. And it's like I said, this Ryzen 5 chip is crazy. Like I said, I was a doubter. I was so stuck on Intel. I've been using Intels for so long, i7s, i5s. I've never used the i9 yet, but I've been using Intel for a long time. So I was convinced that nothing could beat Intel. Man, this AMD Ryzen to Intel, y'all gotta be careful. You gotta be real careful, because these companies are starting to make their own chips now. We see what Apple's doing now. So Intel, I love you guys, but this Ryzen chip is crazy. I was surprised. I installed some stuff on it yesterday, and I ran like DaVinci Resolve just to see how that would run. It loaded it. You know, you have to wait a little bit, load your video. Depending on how long your video is, it's gonna take a little time. But once I loaded it in there and let it sit for a little bit, it was running really good. DaVinci Resolve. I also installed Premiere Essentials and Photoshop Essentials because I don't have a copy of Premiere Pro. So I'm running a trial of just the Essentials to see how it would work, and it works really well in here as well. And I also installed some other software that I use, and this thing is super fast. I'm serious, guys. I'm serious. I'm really happy. $500. You know, you invest another $100 to $200 in it, and you got a great machine. A great machine. I mean, it's a little. It's not heavy. It's typical laptop weight. Still got a nice profile. Look at it. If you look around, it's not too thick. It's not too thin. It's like a perfect size. I love this laptop. I love it. Love it. Really happy with it. So let me talk about the cons again, just to remind you guys of the cons. So keyboard, not backlit. No backlit keyboard. Also, screen brightness. Screen brightness isn't the best. You know, it's not dull, but it's not that bright. You know, you've definitely seen better screens out there than this, but it still looks good. It's still good. What else? That's pretty much it. I don't really have. Oh yeah, okay. If this is a flaw, no USB-C. I don't really know. I don't really think that's a con, really, right? So that's it. Basically, just the keyboard, screen brightness. That's pretty much it. Honestly, I really don't have much. Oh yeah, and okay, and the cosmetics of it, how it looks kind of dull. You know, it's nothing special, but you know, I'm about what the machine can do versus how it looks, right? I'm pretty sure the majority of us out here are the same. So yeah, pretty much that's my review of this machine. It's not the best review, but because I've only had it since yesterday, but since I've had it since yesterday and the things that I've already did, it runs really well. Oh yeah, the fan kicks in a little bit. I forgot to say that one. The fan kicks in when you're doing some data transfer. It got a little loud, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. It eventually got quiet again. So that's not really a con as well. So I can't call these things cons. Those are the only cons that I did come up with. So out of 5, honestly, 4.7. This thing is great. Oh yeah, here's the 45-watt adapter, regular Dell adapter. Really has a really tiny, small tip on it. Anyway, this is my review of the Dell Inspiron 15 AMD Ryzen 5 laptop. If you can get one, I would highly recommend grabbing one of these. I was lucky they only had 2 left at my store, well, a store close to me, and I went and got it, and I'm glad I did. So anyway, I'm gonna make another video about later on when I fully put some of these applications to test and see what that process is like. But from what I tested yesterday, this thing is crazy good. Please click like, please subscribe, please leave comments below. If you have any questions about it, feel free to ask, and I'm gonna see you guys on my next video. Later.